Seth Humphrey with Stretch You inside the Vitality Mill. And I wanted to take a second to thank you for your interest inside of what we're building with Stretch You. And today I wanted to just give you some value. Pain and being stiff, being sore, being in discomfort is something that it impacts how we feel. And how we feel impacts every area of our life. And so what I wanted to do today is just give you some value to be able to maybe help you relieve some discomfort that you may have, and then hopefully get you inside of Stretch You, and so we can work with you in doing so, give you some things that you can do on the outside, but at the same time work together to get you to stay out of pain. Here's the deal: is we can get out of pain, but it's something that's going to, it's just like anything else, we have to stay consistent with it, or it goes right back to where we started from the get-go. And we need to get to the root of the problem. But if we don't get to the root of the problem, it's just going to always continue to creep back up. So in saying all that, I'm going to start with our hips. I think that our hips are obviously what connects our upper and our lower half, and then it all is connected. And I know it sounds, you've heard that before, is everything's connected. It's true that if you're having pain in your ankle or in your calf or in your foot, then it could be coming from your hip, it could be coming from your hamstrings. And so we need to be working mobility and flexibility in all of those. At the same time, we need to be doing our soft tissue work with our massage and things like that as well, which we offer inside of Stretch You as well. So first one we're going to go is just a hip flexor stretch. You can bring something over to put your hand on. All we're going to do is right here is I'm going to have knee down, and I'm going to take this and just lean forward. So now this hip flexor right here is getting a good stretch. At the same time, I'm getting a good stretch in those hips as well. And I'm just going to sit right here and take some deep breaths in through my nose. And try to go in your nose, out your nose. And what that does is telling your body that you can relax, that it doesn't have to fight. We can just kind of relax there. We don't have to fight it. If you'll take about 10 deep breaths. Take about 10 deep breaths there, and then go to the other side. Hip flexors, as we sit down, our hip flexors start to shorten, and that starts to pull on our back. All right, so we're taking a deep breath. And those deep breaths help us fall more into it. So do on each side of that. That's going to start lengthening those hip flexors. Next, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a couple different options on this. You can take something like a bench. That's what we call a Spider-Man lunge. I'm going to take my foot, and my heel, everything's on the ground. And I'm going to take this back leg, and I'm going to take it back as far as I can. And then all I'm going to do is, just like we were just now, we're leaning into that hip flexor. I'm just going to lean into it. Now, with our thoracic part of our back, that upper part of our back, we get real tight because we're at desk and things all day, sitting down. So we can take this arm right here, and then we can open up. My eyesight's following my hand. Okay? We step back. Other side, and just lean into. Deep breaths. You want to take that to another level? We can come here on my knees. I bring a foot to the outside. Hands, I stack my shoulder, wrist, elbows. I take this knee, I take it back off the ground, and I take it back as far as I can. And now I'm in a Spider-Man position here. I can kind of rock around a little bit, move around in a circle. I can kind of move side to side, and that starts to give me a little bit more movement in those hips. Now I can take that arm, open it up, hand down, knee down, other side. Same thing, breathing, deep breath. Okay, so now we've getting those hips really loosened up. We can go, next one is a frog, okay? So what I want to do here is, I want to take my knees as wide as I can. Taking my knees as wide as I can. I'm going to flare my toes out. That may be right here, that may be the position that you stay in. And I can kind of push my hips back. Push my hips back. Breathing. Then we can start to make it a little bit harder. We can go to the ground here. Do the same thing. Push those hips back. Our hips are going to start to become tight. As it starts to become tight, we want to start to loosen them up so they can move and be mobile in all different directions. Now, another one is on a couch to get those hip flexors. To get those hip flexors, like we were doing a while ago where we were here and leaning into. Now we're going to get those and we're going to stretch those on another level, but at the same time we're going to stretch those quads out. You could do this on you can get a couch and get coming down from the couch. You want to get pretty far out. Maybe that you have something that you're holding on to. Could grab a PVC pipe. I can grab something like this right here. Come here. I come all the way down. Now, I lean back, and I'm getting a stretch all through that quad, all the way. I open, and I lean back into. Start taking those deep breaths. And take the arms. Take arms overhead. Get a good stretch. Breathing through it. And then we go to the other side. Same thing. Sit into. Lean back. Get a good stretch. And then come back from there. So, next one, hips, rotating. We need to get some rotation in those hips. One that I really like, and I actually do this at my house on my bed. So bed can be a little bit higher, obviously a little bit higher, but I would put my foot on the bed there, and then take my leg back, and then that's a really good stretch through our hips, through our glutes, hamstrings on this side, but then also we're getting that hip flexor stretch right there as well. You could also go into your pigeon on a bed as well. Not going to be able to do it on this, but all we would do is bed lays here. We would take our leg and just lay it over the top of it and then be able to stay into it. The other way of doing that is, that's first level is higher coming up. The next level is right here, same thing. I'm just gonna take that leg across and lay it as straight as I can. I'm gonna straighten up this leg here and take it back. I can stay right there. I'm getting a good stretch in those glutes. Make it more difficult. I can extend my chest out and really try to lay out and put my hands down. Get good deep breaths there. Let's come from the other side and see it. All I'm gonna do is 90 degrees. I'm gonna try to, this side for me is a little bit tighter. The more you take that foot out this way, the better stretch you're gonna get, okay? Everybody's gonna be different. Don't force anything. Deep breath. Good stretches. All right, so we can go next to some hamstring. And come here, taking my leg, bringing something that I can hang on to if I need to maybe. If not, you can just come down your leg here. What I'm trying to do here is keep my hips straight. And I'm taking my toe and I'm bringing it towards my forehead as much as I can. And now I'm getting a stretch all through that calf, all through my hamstrings. Come to the other side. Stretching that hamstrings. If you have any lower back issues, that would help out a lot. Next one, let's go out to the side. So we'll take that leg out to the side here. We have something that we have our hands on here. Take that leg out to the side, and then all I want you to do is try to take that foot, that toe, and pick it up towards the ceiling. So now we're just trying to move and get some movement in that hip. Do that on the other side. Get some upper body stretches real quick. Upper body, you want to stretch that chest, but also get that lower body hip flexor stretch here. We take hand to the outside, another hand here like we're going to do a push-up, and I'm going to take the hand, the side that I got the hand on the ground, I'm taking this leg and I'm taking it up over. Now I'm getting a good stretch through my chest. At the same time, I'm getting a hip flexor stretch over here. Now we'll come over, do the same thing other side. I'll come out, reach over. It's a good stretch for our, like I said, hip flexor and stuff. And here, another good one that's going to stretch out those quads, but at the same time, our feet are always this way, right? We need to take them the opposite direction a little bit. This here, we can come down to the ground. We can lay down. Now I'm getting if I come with my hands, and I lean this one over, and I grab it with this one, and I pull down, I start to get a stretch all through that lat right there. The same thing the other side. a good stretch through that lat, and then I'm stretching out those legs as well. Another thing you can do to stretch out those lats, because we don't go overhead as much as we need to, is come over here to the wall, put hands on the wall, and just sink down into, get a good stretch all through those lats and those triceps. You can come across, grab like a door frame, grab a door frame here and pull, okay? Pull away from and stretch that thoracic part, that middle of our back. Do the same thing here. You could have someone come and pull your arms back and stretch it that way as well. Taking that overhead, leaning to one side, leaning to the other side. So hopefully that will give you some things that in the morning time, taking 5 to 10 minutes, find a few of those that you like. I guarantee if you spend 5 to 10 minutes on these every day, either that's in the morning or in the evening before you go to bed, it's going to help out. And then let us help you as well. I'd love to have you come in and experience what we're doing inside the Stretch U. So just more than anything, look forward to working with you at some point, and hopefully these help you. Seth Humphrey, talk soon.